Welcome back, my fellow duplicants, to the Ultimate Automation Challenge. And in today's episode here, I am going to be continuing my build over here to the left. And what I want to do is actually dig up some more areas so that I can really get into some other biomes and explore the map a little bit more. The things I'm going to need to do that is going to be an exosuit, because obviously I can't, just create oxygen everywhere I go. I might as well just throw it into an exosuit and just take care of it that way. Here's the big problem that I have right now, though. Look at all this gas. We've got carbon dioxide, we've got a little bit of chlorine, some polluted oxygen right here, and see right there, Slimelung. Matter of fact, if we take a look at my immune system here, Nicola's kind of low, Max is low, Gossman isn't bad, and Meep's doing just fine. The reason is that I didn't realize that I had uncovered some really nasty slime down here that's packed full of Slimelung. So I gotta really get rid of this, and I gotta nip this thing in the butt before it becomes a big problem, because it may already be becoming a big problem. So I think the first thing I might want to do is just let some chlorine into my base, which is okay because I'm not really doing anything down here, and I do kind of want chlorine in the bottom. However, I've got carbon dioxide down there, so well, who knows? Whatever. Let's just go ahead and do that. Hopefully that will save me, or maybe it'll be the worst idea ever, but that's what I'm going to do right there. There's also been a couple recommendations that you guys have given me over here as far as this unit up here, my little ranch, and the main idea that which a couple people actually talked about here. So Eric Booth and Rock Baki were both talking about the same sort of idea, and that is if I make this tall, one, I can get as many critters in there as possible for one single room. And the second thing is that I can have one auto sweeper that maintenances the entire room so that I don't have to things don't end up over here where I can't reach it. So if I make it tall, then I can solve all my problems with just one little auto sweeper. So I like that idea. I might get to that, but the main thing I need to get to or fix right now is my Slimelung problem. Ugh. So I'm going to build over this slime for right now, and then I'll deal with it later. But what I really want to do is kind of crack open this chlorine, and hopefully that will expose some, it'll help kill off some of these germs that have found their way in here before I have some major problems. The other thing I'll probably want to do is have some sick beds up here in case things don't go as planned. So I'm going to dig that up and mop it up as well. Please do not become super sick. So in order to power up the exosuits, I'm going to want to have, I think I'll actually convert some of this water into oxygen through an electrolyzer, and then use some of that hydrogen energy to kind of siphon off to power up my exosuit system. And that should work out, because I think there's a little bit of a net gain that comes from that system. Now, there has been some major changes to the game recently with the latest update. One of them being is that the compost thing over here actually now gives off dirt. So it takes in polluted dirt and will actually give out dirt at 100 grams a second. That's actually pretty significant. And that's at a rate, I believe that's enough for 6 mealwood plants in a day. I think it should be 60 kilograms. With all this carbon dioxide, this chlorine isn't going to go anywhere. Means I need to build even more stuff in order to allow it to get out. It's a lot of things that need to happen here. Alright, well, I survived that cycle. Nicola's still going down, though. Let's take a look at him. Ew, buddy. Immune system. Ooh, no! Minus 23 per cycle. Why? Because look at all that Slimelung. 226,000. Bro. You're dead. I've heard if you give them hypothermia, they actually can't get anything else. So, is there anything cold around that I could just, dip them in? Let's try this. Let's change this to 7. We'll get it built. And then I'll navigate Nicola. I'll tell him to come over here and take a chlorine bath. I mean, that's gotta be good for you. Maybe it'll work. Hang on. I could tell you, Nicola, to go over here. Now let's take a look at his germs. You might be suffocating, but just hang in there, Nicola. You're actually, I don't know, doing pretty good. You're going to come back here and dig that up. He comes over here and it just starts going right back. I think he's doomed. Alright, well, I was able to get a little chlorine in here. And Nicola mastered the job of a miner. So that's good. I'm going to go ahead and change his job to something where he's not going to run over there for a little while. He'll be a courier for a little bit. Actually, you know what? He's going to be an art student. How about that? Nobody's doing these paintings down here for whatever reason. So I heard I want to feed these guys sedimentary rock because that will increase their chance of producing a stone hatch. And as you can see right now, it's just kind of random. Although there's a bunch of junk in here. I mean, just look at all that. Ugh. All of that should really be just swept up. Oh, never mind. We got an auto sweeper up here. Well, this would be a good thing to use all of a sudden. And can I build it? That is the darn it, that takes so much. All right, focus back on what you need to do here, Brothgar. You need oxygen, so we can do that. And we need exosuits, clearly, because that's really important. All right, so here's my electrolyzer system. I've got the gas pump over here. The hydrogen will get separated by this little manual airlock. So the oxygen will flow out beneath this, and it'll actually cool down the hydrogen generator and the battery before going into the pump. And that's kind of the one alteration I'm actually making. Now, there's a pretty good tutorial out there that Cryptic Fox made. I know you guys ask me for tutorials all the time, but there's other YouTube creators, and they make really good tutorials. So go ahead and check those guys out. That's actually a pretty good video to check out as far as if you want the fine details on what's going on here. Spoiler alert, it's about the same thing as what I'm about to explain. All I do is use an Atmos sensor up here. Once it goes above a certain pressure, I think 700 or so, then that thing will turn on. Hydrogen will get pumped into this system, and then it'll just keep operating. Oxygen will get pumped out, and so on and so forth. I'm going to hook that up to an automation wire down here. And the other thing is I do have a smart battery, which will allow me to turn on and off certain equipment or send signals out based on how much power I have. So at one point, I would like to experiment more with this sort of concept here, because this thing seems to really be working out well, which really might just change the way I do power in my base, because I'm really used to having a very high voltage, high setup, you know, as far as using, you know, big power and then stepping it down to the smaller pieces of equipment through the transformers. What I'm doing here is the absolute opposite. I actually run up to capacitors that run to the piece of equipment, and then when that equipment is, you know, deactivated, those capacitors, you know, essentially reconnect to the main and then refill up. So it's like I have a small pool, and then I just kind of pipe that around. So I don't know, that setup seems like it might actually work a little bit better. I got to explore a little bit more with that. There's going to be an experiment video on that here pretty soon. I've got a lot of things going on here. It's actually been a pretty crazy day today. Had a factory acceptance test on a big system that I was working on. Things went really good. I got lots of stuff going on there. A lot of movement on the 3D printer front as well. I've actually been proving that out at my job. And it turns out they really like 3D printers. They weren't so crazy about plastic, but I found ways to make it more appealing. So that has turned out to be actually pretty positive. So there's a lot of good opportunity, and I gotta work like crazy to get my 3D printer done. Which means making a giant list of all the stuff I needed to do. And as it turns out, it's a whole lot of stuff. So much going on. I basically just can never stop moving. If I stop moving, then I won't ever keep up with life. In case you haven't noticed, I've been trying to make the videos a little bit shorter. You know, talking about 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes, depending on how into it I get. Instead of 30 minutes or 40 minutes, because that's a lot. It's a lot for me to do, especially on a weeknight. Now, hopefully this doesn't break. I'm trying to use a lot of sandstone, because I keep digging up stuff, you know, this is sandstone, so I just replace it with a tile that's sandstone. Kind of allows me to build the tiles quickly. Bro, you're gonna die. Like, there's just, I don't know how to save you, buddy. I could set up some sort of medical thing, but you're not doing so hot either. Oh wait, what if I put up a hand sanitizer? That probably wouldn't work, because it's surface germs. And there's Slimelung inside of my medical base. Oh, that's great. Way to plan that one out. How we do? Oh my gosh, it's getting worse. Just build more of these deodorizers. I need them everywhere. I've got too much polluted oxygen floating around. This chlorine didn't make it very far. I mean, it's got to count for something. You know, Nicholas, he's going down, but it's like it's I don't know. Maybe he will survive. He's definitely not going down 14% per cycle like it's saying. Because if so, he'd already be sick. And Max is at 29. Huh. Oh, he's going back up. Yeah, way to defy death, Nicola. Good job, buddy. I have like no resources. This is horrible. I just need so many metals. Hey, finally a cold biome. I've been just like, for a long time now, I thought, if I don't find a cold biome here anytime soon, I'm gonna be in trouble. But luckily, there we have one. Oh, and we also have a bunch of iron ore, so I'm just gonna dig that up. And as we can see, even though I broke open this seal on the chlorine, it's really not a big deal. So what do I want to build down here? It's like I just decided to build something without knowing what I want to build. Can't say I've never done that before. Okay, so I don't need this much food. We're actually talking about the priorities here, you guys. Because I was having a problem with them just going around and around on a loop. Let me just check my priorities real quick. Oh no, the wrong button. Sub priorities. Yeah, they're not gonna deliver to that. Yeah, that'll work. I reworked the liquid system a little bit more. I know nobody cares, but the water came up here and then went over and now it goes back down. That way, you know, I was fighting the direction thing that it was going this way or that way and it just was never happy. I think it's time for another duplicant, don't you? Welcome to the base, Bubbles! Yay! One of my favorites. Alrighty, so let's deconstruct some of this and give her a nice little room to stay in. Bum, 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 bum. Ooh, I'm gonna need quite the miner. Nicola could be a seasoned miner, but he would die. So he's not going to be that. So welcome to seasoned miner, Bubbles. Alright, so there we go. No! Build it! Bubbles! You forgot to dig out the rest of your house. That's a lot of hatches up there. Speaking of which, I've got a sage, which actually that's probably a great spot for it. Because right now it's eating up this clay, and then that turns into coal, which gets used up in this coal generator. Now the only thing is that the amount of coal I have is starting to go down a little bit. 4,500 kilograms of coal. Yeah, I kind of wish that was a little bit higher. Eat more, hatches. So the Slimelung continues to go down. It's now down to like right around, this area over here is still like 4,000 or 5,000, but for the most part, it's a fair bit lower. Got a lot of food poisoning on the plants though. How did that happen? I don't feel like anybody's emptying these bottles into the bottle emptier. For whatever reason, they've just decided to avoid that. So I've marked that up as sweep. Let's see what happens. I'm also trying to build a pipe over here so that the metal refinery as it runs will then feed this electrolyzer. So in case you've watched some of my other videos, the only real difference to this electrolyzer setup here is the fact that it uses these doors. That makes it a lot easier to build. So as you can see, dupes get access to it. So that works out pretty good. Yeah, so you can see this is running a lot more now. Boosh, boosh, boosh. So that's what I really wanted to see right there. Very, very good. So what I'd also like to see now is if I set up a compost somewhere, that compost can be in chlorine so that I don't get any sort of germs and stuff out of it. I can pretty much just kill the germs inside of it. Because dirt is used, you know, all over the place. So what if I do this? I set up a little manual door here and there. Set up a little compost inside of it. I don't know. I don't really like that spot. There's got to be a better spot for it. Or I got to be able to have a spot where I can pump some chlorine to it. Let's dig over here and make it happen in this area. So if I do something like this, I should be able to get some chlorine to just kind of sit in there. That's what I'm hoping for. So I can see my coal is actually going up now, so that's good. It was going down, and that was not good. Alright. Finally to the point where we can start to breathe a little bit easier. Whew. Surviving that Slimelung. Aha! There we go. Now I can build my exosuit forge right there. I can also do a textile loom above that. Seems like a good thing to put right there. Actually, hang on. I want to move that wall. Ha ha! And then I can even put the jobs board inside of here and save some space, from over here. Actually, I don't know. That jobs board is what it is, right? I don't really need to worry about it. I could put something else in there. I don't know what I'll put in there, but see, now this is what I wanted to see. Oxygen, chlorine, a little bit of carbon dioxide beneath it. A nice blanket of protection. At least that's the way I like to think about it. And look, my Slimelung is gone. So that's good. So now I gotta start conveying this. Ooh, it's almost ready. Start bringing that down there. Actually, how is my ability to ship some things around doing? Conveyor loader, yes. Oh, that's so expensive. It's 100 a piece. Oh man. The hardest thing about this challenge is going to be having enough resources to make all the stuff I want to make. I mean, it's just, there's so much metal in this base already. These conveyors are gonna suck it all up. Bam, a little bit of an auto sweeper right there, because you know what? That polluted dirt, it's gonna find its way right down here. So what I really should do, since we're talking about the automatic storage retrieval system a little bit, the ASRS, is that I essentially have the right idea here, where I have a couple of auto sweepers that really can, access a bunch of stuff right there in the middle of my base. And what I want to do, just like Kumar was actually talking about here, is that I really want to feed everything to this and then have that, branch out to where it needs to go. So, we'll have to, I'm not there yet. I'm not going to get to that tonight, maybe not even in the next couple of nights, but eventually that's essentially what I want to end up with. Now, it's pretty reasonable. I could just kind of reconfigure a lot of these conveyor rails, deconstruct and rebuild them. Basically, take this game and turn it into Factorio. That's essentially where we're going to go with this. The other thing I would probably want to do to kind of optimize this base is, I have a lot of these really long ladders, and that has a tendency of duplicants to drop some stuff to the bottom of the ladder, which is quite a long ways, especially if I want to keep going up. So I probably should start to get in the habit of actually creating some landings so that the dupes kind of jump over and then they jump back. That's actually a lot easier to do if I had two ladders right next to each other. But I messed up over here, so I only have a gap of 2. Oh, come on, guys. You can build this, please. This was like the whole goal of my night, guys. I want you to build this one thing. All you gotta do is one thing. Protesting duplicants. Claiming that I'm poisoning them with Slimelung. It's their own fault. Wow, look at that shot. Bam. Coal, abyssalite, phosphorite. Bam, right into the cold biome. That is a monster dig right there. Boom. Oh, by the way, they made sleetweed even harder to grow. Not only do you need water, but now it takes dirt as well. It went from being like the plant to grow to being, I don't know, kind of unattractive, at least in my opinion. Poor Bubbles. You're like so terrible at digging. I know you are a seasoned miner, but it really isn't helping. Alright, so I gotta find some reed fiber. Great. Where's some reed fiber? Ow! A puff prince over here. I can get to that. But I might die in the process. Crap. Okay, there's gotta be one down here, under the protection of chlorine, that I can get to. There is a thimble reed here, but it isn't doing anything. A Dreckos. 150 kilograms per 3 cycles. Takes mealwood though, or blossom. That's the one I want. Oh, wait. Reed fiber. That's exactly what I need. It's like I almost planned it, even though I didn't really plan it. Come on, guys. Let's build this ladder up. Grab ourselves a Dreckos, and then ship it on over. I like this one. It's got plastic. I mean, that one's 3 kilograms per cycle, though. I suppose rather than digging down, I should just dig over. And then I can get both the ones that I want. Ha! There we go. That might be a catch and release, though. I don't really need that one for that long. Gossman, what are you doing? You're just running on a generator that isn't doing anything. Oh, come on. Get back to work, Gossman. Yeah, you don't even know what you're doing. Max. Like, That's the most useless thing to dig up there. Why are you even digging that? Alright, we're gonna go to advanced mode. We're getting serious with it. Meep just bagged this Drecko and left it. I mean, what a jerk. Look at this thing. It's just laying there, like, waiting for somebody to come by and pick it up. So while this does look like spaghetti, there's a science to it. If you leave a gap between your liquid pipes, you can easily fit the bridges in order to skip over one and get to the next. That's the science. I know. Highly fascinating, right? What about this sweepy thing? Well, nearly. One of these days, this stuff will get built. What about the power for the sweepy thingy? No power for that either. This is where I wish I had that, like, 100 duplicant workforce, where I click on anything and just... everything's done. But I don't. I got 5 dupes. That was kind of a crazy challenge. Dude, look! This one's, like, ready to be harvested. Wrangle this thing and actually wrangle it. Please. Where'd the Drecko go? Is it up here? Did it die? Meep? No, it just ran off. Oh, come on, Meep. At least. Please. All you gotta do is do your job, man. That's it. Like, what is wrong with this menu? It's like all, no, all, no. But if I click that, doesn't like that. Look at this, like, army of hatches I got up here. Look at them. They're all over the place. All right, so I'm gonna open this up. You see how I have a little bit of Slimelung left inside of here and some germs? So if I open this up, it should let some chlorine in. Yeah, get on in there. Yeah, do some of that good stuff. If I open up this one as well, might actually work. Okay, so now I've got a bunch of chlorine on top of all of that carbon dioxide. If I get rid of this, carbon dioxide should go out and I should be left with chlorine. So, just gotta deconstruct one piece. Actually, I can deconstruct 2 pieces. And then use a door when somebody gets around to doing this. Come on. Clearly. I didn't have all the critter drop off, so no wonder Meep couldn't do it. I'm still gonna blame him. It's your fault, Meep. Not mine. Not at all. There we go. Come on now. Deconstruct the tile. Good job. Now, chlorine, do your magic. Let that carbon dioxide flow out. Ooh, yeah, see? Killing those germs. Get wrecked. It was chlorine for a second. It was chlorine for a second. There we go. Yeah, you can see that number dropping fast once you get chlorine on it. There we go. Got rid of all the germs and stuff in here. There, so now I have some chlorine down there, so that's all safe, you know, from anything else that's floating around. So the thing is, even though it's on the bottom here, carbon dioxide will flow down there to the bottom, and eventually that will build up. And since it's the bottom tile that affects everything that's inside that storage compactor, a lot of this chlorine really won't do me a lot of good. Oh, and why not just bring the most infected manual airlock you can find? Are we gonna build this thing ever? Please? Okay, never mind. I guess it is built. Yes, we did get the Drecko over here. Excellent. Is what it is, I guess. Wow, look at this big cold biome. That's gonna be great for creating cooling loops and stuff. That'll really help. There's a good chance I could take a lot of stuff over there, especially once we get into plastics and whatnot, and actually use that to, you know, generate a lot of power and whatnot way over here, and then, you know, convey it and all that good stuff back over to the other chunk of the base. So if I re-enable this to be continuous, what I should get is some nice water that's going to now flow over here and allow this to run. It should be nice and hot, and this is made of abyssalite, so I don't have any problems with it. Even though it's at 70 degrees Celsius, it won't be a big deal. See, the temperature is a little bit warm, but it's not too bad. Yeah, there we go. This will pump the wrong stuff for a little while and damage this, but it's probably easier than just putting some sort of filter on it for right now. Once it gets that oxygen out of there, that'll be done. Make sure I sweep this stuff up as well. I'm also gonna hook the automation wire up to the electrolyzer and the hydrogen generator, just to kind of see what that does. I don't necessarily need to run this. Okay, never mind, I do, because I can't run the metal refinery if I don't. Now what to do with all this oxygen, though? It's not like I need a bunch of it. Haha, that was not plugged in. Way to go. That worked out really good. Oh, check this out. Watch this. If I deconstruct all of this and that, you know where I'm going with this. And actually just deconstruct that too. everything will drop. Boom! And then this little auto sweeper will go ahead and start to organize stuff down here. Boom! Look at that go! Okay. So if I want to plug this into the power grid, what I want is for this to go to standby, right? So it'll turn off, like let's say 80% or something like that. No, off at 100. But then again, active if it's nice and low. Now the thing is, for the automation wire, yeah, let's just see if this works. I got to do some experimenting on this to see if this is really a legit idea, but put a little transformer there, and then I'll use a power shutoff. It's probably a pretty good spot for it. And then an automation wire. Hang on, we can make that a little bit better. And then if we just use this, still have a lot of wires I need to refine and whatnot, but oh, hang on, that needs to be a NOT gate, so it's the opposite. NOT. I suppose I could just plug it into that instead of a little, whatever, I guess that, and what's the point of the little power shutoff thing? Whatever. It's fun, it clicks open and close. Okay, so that's draining down. We can see the power is flowing out of this system first. And then it should toggle over. Let's bring it up to 10. No. Get off of this. Okay, so deactivate. You can do it. Okay, come on now. You're nearly out. So there we go. Now the power turned off and the power shutoff has opened up. Now the hydrogen generator is working to fill the battery back up, which turns on the electrolyzer because there's, well, I don't know, because that thing started pumping again. And then the power goes out of the transformer, and now it's starting to draw out of that battery. But now we're back up again. So cool. All right. So the power comes out of the hydrogen system first, and then goes to the coal. But what I really need to do is get rid of a lot of this oxygen, because I got too much of it. So I really need an ammo suit. Guess I don't have any reed fibers. I'm just gonna have to go dig over here and get one. That'll have to be in the next episode, because I'm out of time. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this little episode here of Oxygen Not Included. Let me know down there in the comment section below if you got some ideas for different things I can automate here in the base. If I've earned your subscription, then thank you so much for that. Have a great day. Stay awesome. Peace. Brothgar out.